Hey guys, thank you so much for being with us. Today we are doing leek soup. I love this soup. One of the best out there. Man, such a simple dish, and it's an easy way to do it. We're going to get started right away. We got a lot of work to do, man. I want to show you guys just some neat little nuances that you have to do when you make this soup. Come on in. This is cooking today. Hey guys, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being with us. This is going to be a good day today. We are doing leek soup for you. The leeks are this beautiful, gigantic, it's like a huge green onion is what it looks like. And it is in the onion, but also the garlic family. I mean, it's the both sides of the fence, and they are beautiful, sweet, mild sweet flavor with the leeks, like an onion. I mean, that same similar flavor to an onion, just a lot milder. They are really, really good for you. And what we're going to do right now is get them cleaned up. You notice I'm going to chop off the very tops of them, about 1.5 inches or so. And we're going to work with pretty much the rest of it. This very tip end down here at the bottom, we don't want either, where the roots are. I mean, you can use that for, for seasoning if you want to, in the bottom of a soup pot, just like you dice up onion or garlic. This will give you a lot of good flavor, but we're not going to use it here. We need the leeks. We're going to grind this up a little later, so we need to clean these. And the reason I want to show you this, because it's very, very important. So I cut it in half long ways, okay? And I want you to look. I want you to get a really good look and tell me what you see. And I know you can't, but I'll tell you that's dirt. I mean, that's just soil is all it is. There's no rottenness or anything to the leek. The soil just it grows up, and the soil gets caught up inside the leaves, and that's just something you really have to clean. So we want to get these guys cut up, and we'll just dice it up from there the long ways. And I've already filled the sink with water, okay? And so I'm just going to get this cut up and right into my nice strainer here, because I want to take all of it to the sink at the same time. Okay, get all that in there. And we're going to do the same thing to the other one. Just cut it lengthwise. And then it's just like an onion. Again, it has lots of layers. And we want to get that cut up and placed in our strainer. Just like that. Always be real careful with your fingers when you're working with these. They're a little bit slippery, so you could slip if your knife isn't sharp and get yourself. We do not want that. Okay, and you can even hear the dirt on the board, okay? And we don't want that in our food. We want to make sure we get all that out. And what I'll do, I'll take the leeks and get them in the sink, and I'm going to just start moving them around real good. And guys, just get right in there with your hand. You want to break them apart as much as you can. But you want to just get the leeks cleaned just by circulating them. Just like your washing machine. You want to agitate them. And all the dirt will fall to the bottom. And now we're going to leave that in there for just a little bit till we get ready for it. I'm going to grab a rag and just get a little bit of that water here, because I want to get the extra dirt, 1, off of my knife, and 2, off of the board before I move on. Just clean that up. Then we're going to take some beautiful parsnips. I mean, these guys look like a carrot to you, a white carrot, but they are really, really cool. They are, you know, they have that jicama texture to them, you know, almost a cross between a potato and an apple, that kind of texture, but just a mild flavor. Very good, and they're going to go great with our soup. So we just want to peel these guys up, and we're going to dice them. We're going to do the same thing to some Yukon Gold potatoes that I have sitting here on the deck. So you just want to get all the peel off of the parsnips, just like that, and expose that beautiful white inside. I mean, it's like ivory almost on the inside. Just a beautiful, beautiful vegetable. Okay? And then we'll do these potatoes as well. And you see how golden they are? These are delicious. I love making French fries out of these. Even potato chips are real good made out of the Yukon Golds. They just have such a good flavor. And we just want to peel these up so we can dice them as well to go in our soup. And we'll go right back there to the leek washing with all this stuff and then get it washed as well. It's just everything here is grown in the ground, and it's very important to make sure that it's nice and clean. Okay, and I'm going to get these other ones peeled up, these last two. You guys, after we get back from our break, I'm going to get the soup going. We got some butter we're going to melt right here in the stock pot and get our leeks cooking first. That'll be the first thing we'll do, and we'll set everything else up in the pot. And you guys stick around. This is cooking today. So the trick is to make sure that the leeks are cleaned real well. They grow in the ground, and they also grow in layers. So inside of each layer, there will be just a little bit of dirt. You want to make sure you get them cut real good and washed in water real good. Okay, guys, welcome back. And I just need to get the rest of the leeks out of the sink here, out of the dirty water. We just want to make sure that they are good and clean. I think we did a real good job. We got our potatoes and our parsnips. They're all set up, ready to go. They've been cleaned. And what I'm going to do here is just grab a towel and bring it forward. Okay, so I can just put my leeks right here on the countertop, right where I need them, and they can drain some of that water on off of them, you know, some of that extra water. We're going to be putting butter in the pan here, and as much of that water we can take off, we want to do that. So we're going to cut a half a stick of butter, and I got the pan going. You'll see it start to smoke right away. And this is one of those good soups that after it's cooked down for a little while, you get the puree out. You can either use your blender or the stick blender. I think we're going to probably use a stick blender today to get it pureed up. But man, it's so smooth at the end. I just can't wait to get there. So while that butter melts, I'm going to go ahead and start with my vegetables. And there's something you can just leave relatively big, or a rough cut as we call it, because again, they're going to get pureed up. So really, you just want to get each section cut into half and then cut it down into about an inch, inch and a half or so. Just a big square would be just fine. Just like that. Nothing major. All we want to do is let it cook a little bit faster. So we cut them down. Okay, and I'm going to stop right there because our butter is melted. It is brown and looking great. So we're going to go right in. All these leeks. And they're going to cook down, okay? You see how piled up they are. It is an onion. So after a while, this is going to be less than half of its volume, which is good. It's exactly what we want. But we want to go ahead and get it mixed up. We also want to go ahead and season right here. So we are going to be real generous with the black pepper right here on our leeks. We really want to season these right now while they're still raw. Okay? And I am using today, we are going to use the roasted garlic sea salt from Tone's. Just grind it up. Again, you want to be real generous with this because we are making soup. You know, we're going to add some stock to it later, and we'll taste it and make sure we don't need any more. But good amount of seasoning. We're also going to add some crushed red pepper flake, and I'm going to put in about a teaspoon. And just start moving them around. Just combine it so that all that flavor blends together from the salt and the pepper, the crushed red pepper flake. We just start blending all the flavor together. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and finish up here. We'll do our last potato while that's cooking down. And again, just a rough chop on this is all you want to do. Then we'll move on to our parsnips. We'll do the same thing to them. They're real soft, not too much work. Cut it in half long ways and just a rough cut. These guys are going to be great. They're going to add a lot of good flavor. A lot of good earthiness comes with the parsnips. I mean, they just add just a different flavor to it. Okay, just simple chop. Cut that guy in half and then finish it up. Just like that. Okay, and that is all set up and ready to go. And our leeks are cooking down. You see how volume is decreased dramatically. So after about 5 minutes or so of cooking the leeks, we'll go ahead and get our potatoes in there and our parsnips because we got to get those cooking too. Just get it all set up, ready to go. And at the very end, once we get the parsnips in, we get our potatoes in, we'll add 5.5 cups of vegetable stock. I mean, you can buy this if you want to. You know, they make some really good products out there. You can make it real simple. I mean, you have some scraps left over for right here that you can make it with. But just add our vegetable stock to fill that guy up. And we want to bring this up to temperature. I'm going to let this cook down for about 20 minutes until the potatoes and the parsnips get good and soft. We're going to add a few other ingredients right here at the end before we serve it up. So when you guys come back, we'll be adding some other flavors to it. We're going to blend it up. Stick around. It's cooking today. Up next, we'll add our cream and blend our soup till it's smooth. Okay guys, welcome back. And I got a spoon right now in my hand because I want to taste the broth and check it for seasoning just to make sure. And it's real hot, so be real careful. That's got some good flavor. It needs a little bit more salt, so we're going to go ahead and add it right here. Just a little bit. It's got some good heat to it though, and that good black pepper flavor is going on. I also heated up 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, just on low, man. You really don't want to bring it up to temperature right away. You want it to just slowly come up and watch the steam start to build. We don't want it to curdle, and that's the best way to keep it from curdling. And also adding it to the hot liquid. If you add the cold cream to the hot soup, it's going to curdle right away. Then you'll have this cakey layer of fat on top of your soup, and it's just not something you want to have. And so we've been at a rolling boil. I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to low right now, just so it can simmer for just a bit. Okay, and I'm going to get a little bit of garnish ready. Plus, I'm going to put some of the parsley inside the soup. So I want to get this good and chopped up. Just work real quickly. And I want to make sure that that is simmering. Let me just check it, make sure I got it turned down low. I do. It should slow down. Okay, and we'll just get some of this chopped up. We want to add a little bit of flavor right inside the soup before we grind it up. Just to give it that love, that good earthy flavor from the fresh parsley. And the rest we'll use as garnish on top, okay, because we'll use it once we get our bowl made and we're all set up. And I have the immersion blender broken out, and I'm going to go ahead and shut this off because I want to stop the boiling, and I will move it off of hot burner. That way it stops the rolling right away. Okay, now if you want to transfer this to a blender or a food processor, man, you go right ahead. It'll help you a lot. If you're going to use your immersion blender, please remember that the soup is very, very hot, and you want to make sure that the blender stays immersed the entire time. So if you lift it up out of the soup, you want to stop the motor, okay? Otherwise, you will get this splash about. It'll make a big mess, and you'll be hot and burned up with the soup. So you just want to make sure that while blending, you keep it immersed the entire time. But if you need to take it up and get some more of that stuff, you start at the top and work your way down. I want you to be real careful when you're using this blender. It works great, but it'll get you. Now, if you want it just really, really smooth, you go ahead and use your food processor or a blender. That'll get the job done real fast. I just hate to clean up. This is a lot better to clean up to me. And you see now, I've gotten most of it pureed. What I'll do from here is grab a hold of that pot, and now I can start to lift and just get it smooth. But still, I'm not letting the blades come up out of the pot at all. And I want to get it blended real, real well. Just like that. Couple of minutes. And you got this really nice smooth blend, and you can see it right there. And if you want to add more cream to it, you can. If you want it a little bit more creamy, it's totally up to you. Just remember that the more cream you add, the more seasoning that you're going to have to add to it, okay? So now we're going to grab a couple of things here. Let's grab a soup bowl. Let's also grab us a ladle. I have one right here. And we are also going to grab our Parmesan cheese, Parmesan Romano cheese, because we want to add a little bit of that to the soup as well. Okay, so we'll come and just make us a nice bowl of it. Make sure it's mixed up real, real well. Look at that, how beautiful that color is on that. The leeks, you can't believe how they add color to a dish like this. They are so good. Okay, just like that. We'll come right on top with a little Parmesan, just like that. Then we'll garnish it with some fresh parsley, just like that. That is awesome leek soup. Now that is made with so much love, and this is cooking today. Man, you add some cream to the dish, break out your blender, your food processor, or your stick blender, and blend it up till it's smooth. Taste it for seasoning, man, and you have one of the best soups out there. Thank you guys so much for being with us. Man, we made leek soup today. We made a simple dish, but really good. I think your family, your friends, your guests are gonna love it. Man, join us again next time. We're gonna do some cool recipes. I'm gonna try and show you a cool tip or two. I'm Stephen Brooks, and that's Cooking Today.
Cooking Today, sponsored by Tyson Foods, proud makers of Tyson fresh and frozen chicken products and Tone seasonings. We make the meal. Grill provided by Sam's Club. Life is better in the club. Appliances provided by Metro Appliances and more. Cookware and serveware provided by World Kitchen and NWA Restaurant Supply. Food provided by Tankersley Food Service. Produce provided by Kimball and Thompson Produce Company.